Ladies and gentlemen, as your cinematic professor, I'm here to tell you sometimes one artist can salvage a movie. Now, you may have, for example, a film that is, wow, I mean, just run of the mill, very mediocre. And perhaps you nab a top name star or a diamond in the rough type actor who just really shines and elevates the whole production. But this also can happen on the technical side of the movie where maybe nothing is quite working as good as it should, but there is one technical aspect that really elevates the movie above where it normally would be. And that's exactly what happens in tonight's lesson plan as cinematic class is about to begin. And your professor is in. Greetings, salutations, another sundry affair. I am your cinematic professor and purveyor of truth in movies, and tonight's film comes from Saban Films, and it's called Ruthless. And ladies and gentlemen, before we get into the meat and potatoes of tonight's review, let me remind you that no matter what platform you're watching this review on, up in the corner, there should be a subscribe button. And we all would appreciate it if you would click that and subscribe to the channel. You will be notified immediately when I post a new review or a new item on this channel. And of course, it's absolutely free, at least for now. So, by all means, click on that subscribe button and join Outtakes with Rex Real. All right, I appreciate you subscribing to the channel there along any of the social media platforms. Now let's get into Ruthless, shall we? I told you in the teaser that one artist can sometimes elevate a production way past where it seems to be heading, and that's the case with this movie. The editor is the man who salvages this movie. His name is Rylan Rafferty, and man, he has done an excellent job at this. The movie has so many guffaws in it. It truly does. And I don't mean they're guffaws in that they're mistakes. I mean guffaws in that they're unrealistic. They would never happen. The way the plot unfolds is absolutely so ridiculous that it attacks your credulity. But, there's a big but, Rylan comes along and edits this thing just to build tension and to accent the drama, and as such, he has done a great job. You forget how silly some of this stuff is because he's managed to edit this thing at such a quick pace. I'll give you a real good example here. There's a scene in the movie where obviously just at the right time, the cop shows up. And when the cop shows up, boom, he shoots one of the bad guys in the back. Now, you'd say, well, okay. Why? No, I think by this time, everybody knows cops just don't sneak up behind somebody and shoot them in the back. They got to say, police, drop it, freeze, put your hands in the air. So they have to announce somewhere along the line that they're police. No, not in this movie. Just walk up behind the guy and off him, okay? So you have a situation where when you look at that, you go, oh, he can't do that. But it moves the movie along so much that you go, okay. More examples. Our main character is a high school coach. And, I think by now we all know that there are a lot of rules and regulations that encompass being involved with a public school system. And our lead character just willy nilly, he throws them to the wind and acts whichever way he wants to. And you could see where this, I mean, in real life, this would never happen. It's just, you can't do this type of thing and not have repercussions to it. But to keep the pace going and to keep the editing going, Ryland has put this thing together so that the movie is moving along and you're in with the characters, so you're able to make an awful lot of uh, sacrifices, even though they may seem to be somewhat impractical at the time. Dermot Mulroney stars as our high school coach. He is the wrestling coach. And, they have him made up so that at a lot of different shots, he looks like Mel Gibson. He really does. They got the hair and everything going. And I don't know if they did that intentionally, but I think you'll pick it up as soon as you see it. Jeff Fahey is in this. Jeff is, he always makes a good antagonist and does so in this. And playing Katya as Melissa and Diaz, she is the poor girl that is caught in all this sex trafficking. That's basically what the story is. Harry, we open up with Harry, who loses his daughter. She is the victim of a date rape that goes terribly wrong, and she ends up dying. And he is, 4 years later, he's still a wrestling coach at this high school. And he sees a similar scenario developing with one of his students, that's Katya. And boy, he just does not want this to live through this experience again, even if it's one of his students. He doesn't want to see this happening to the girl. And unfortunately, he stumbles upon this is not just a case of date rape. This is a whole sex trafficking organization, and it's pretty massive and encompasses. So he gets into very deep waters, shall we say. The subject of sex trafficking is very hot right now. There is a massive amount of sex trafficking accusations being hurled around, especially at this current Biden administration, claiming that it's being fostered by them. Of course, we have the entire Jeffrey Epstein scenario and the island and the traveling list and what have you. And that's just here in America. This is a worldwide problem, and every country is pretty much aware of what's going on here and taking various methods on possibly how to stop it. So because it is such a hot topic, it's very now, and it puts the movie right up there with today's current headlines, which I guess is kind of a good thing and also helps it along. I gotta tell you though, like I said, a lot of the things that happen here, if you or I attempted to do this, no, it would never work. We'd be in handcuffs and carted away, even though our intentions were good. But somehow, if you say you're stopping sex trafficking in these types of movies, you get a lot of carte blanche, shall we say. All right? So let's take a little look now at Ruthless.
Harry's daughter was murdered 4 years ago. Some scumbag drugged her, raped her, and left her to die in a ditch.
What is he trying to do?
I think he's trying to keep that from happening to your daughter.
Thanks, Coach.
We have a legal obligation to report any suspicions of abuse.
Pick your fights, Harry.
I will.
Now come in.
What?
It's my school coach.
Stop hitting that kid.
I think you ought to mind your own business, Coachy.
Before I leave tonight, I'm definitely breaking your right arm.
A dick. See you at school, kiddo.
Coach Sumner, you have a minute?
What is it?
Where did you go?
10 grand of fun. As advertised, my boy. Solve all your problems.
This crew is known for trafficking girls across state lines.
I have a few questions. Where is she? Where'd you take her?
You can't do this, man.
You're not a police officer.
Let me do my job. No need. I don't care if I spend the rest of my life in prison.
This is a big upgrade from the sketchy places I've been to.
Been in business for a strong 10 years.
I'm gonna kill them.
So there you have a look at Ruthless. Let me give you the names of some of the people behind the camera on this. Need the specs for this one. Our director of photography is Brandon Ruiz. He's done a nice job in shooting this. The movie was scripted by Javier Arena and Koji Sakai. And our director was Art Camacho. Kind of fits in with the theme of the movie, I guess, right? But the real star, as I said earlier, is the editor, Rylan Rafferty. He makes this movie work despite all of its flaws. And believe me when I tell you, there are an awful lot of them. Normally, if you were to sit down and watch a movie like this, and even though, Dermot Mulroney is a good actor and can carry a movie like this, there are so many faux pas in this thing that it's just like whoa, and probably 9 times out of 10 you would have changed the channel or said no, this is just too silly. But the pacing on this thing really makes it worthwhile. Rylan has done a very good job on this, and because of that, you can sit and ride the roller coaster and not worry too much about the legal ramifications. If you think about them afterwards, then that's when you could say, wow, that was really silly. But at least you enjoyed watching it as it went along. We're going to give it about a C+ as far as a grade goes. And like I said, most of that goes with Rylan. Really, really good job. Speaking of good jobs, there are a lot of really good things in the official Rex Real store. And this week, we are highlighting the tote bags. Take a look at these. These are really nice. And tote bags come in very handy because literally you could toss almost anything into them. I mean, everything from groceries to books to knickknacks, paddywhacks, whatever. You just toss everything in there and away you go. Not bad. It's the official Outtakes with the Rex Real tote bag. You can find it at the Redbubble store. Why don't you stop there? Check out all the merchandise and order yourself, or perhaps your loved one, a tote bag today. Hey, don't forget all the various social media where we are. You can find us on Gab and on Rumble, on YouTube and on Facebook. By all means, get on there, request to be a subscriber, and we'll let you in and you'll be filled with all of that good stuff. And please don't forget that our home station is BPTV, right in the heart of the suburbs of Pittsburgh, and you can find them on YouTube, actually on their own channel now. They have their own server, so just type in BPTV and you will get a plethora of quality programming, including full-length versions of Outtakes with Rex Real. Once you watch the show, you're going to be hooked. I mean, no one else is doing this kind of thing, and you're going to like it. So there we have it. And I should probably say that now that you have learned what you have learned, here in it.